All right, let's dive into Palantir Technologies Inc.
Definitely a company making waves in the AI and big data world.
That they are. You've been asking about their stock.
A buy or a sell opportunity. We've got some information that might help you decide.
Exactly. Let's start with their stock performance in 2024.
Incredible surge. A whopping 344%.
Yeah, that's massive. What's driving that kind of jump?
They had a very strong third quarter earnings report.
Okay, so they've got momentum. But on top of that,
They also snagged a spot on the S&P 500 index back in September.
which is a big deal, right? Usually that attracts a lot more investors.
Absolutely. But here's the catch. The stock is trading at a premium.
Okay, so as of December 11th,
It's hovering around $70.89 a share.
so the big question
Is
is,
it worth the price?
exactly, is it worth it? To get to the bottom of that,
We need to go beyond the headlines.
what else should we be looking at?
They're technical indicators. For example, they have a relative strength rating of 99
Okay.
and a composite rating of 99.
Wow, perfect scores on both. What do those ratings even mean?
In essence, these ratings compare Palantir's market performance to other companies,
A 99 means they're doing really well.
outperforming the vast majority of their peers. You could say they're in a very strong position.
Okay, and what does that signal to potential investors?
Well, for one, it indicates strong institutional buying.
So the big players are putting their money on Palantir.
Exactly. But even with these exceptional ratings,
There's a
the
but.
stock is still trading well above its buy zone.
Which means
Investors are currently paying a premium for those positive indicators.
so high performance, but also a high price. It's a bit of a balancing act.
It is. And that leads us to their overall valuation.
Okay, let's talk about that. What are we looking at there?
Their price-to-earnings ratio currently sits at 386.5,
Okay, and their price to sales ratio.
61.84,
Whoa, those are some pretty high numbers.
to say the least.
Compared to industry averages.
Oh yeah, significantly higher.
Okay. Even with their strong performance, the valuation is something to watch closely.
Definitely something to keep in mind.
But let's not write them off just yet,
Of course not.
because they did secure some big wins in 2024,
They did.
especially with government contracts and defense partnerships.
Exactly. Like that contract extension with US Atocom for $36.8 million,
And there was that 5-year extension for Project Maven with the U.S. Army.
bringing in a cool $90 million annually.
Nice. That's not all, though, right?
Nope, we can't forget about that brand new Titan contract.
$178 million deal.
Yes. It seems like they've really mastered securing those high-level government and defense partnerships.
So they've got a pretty impressive portfolio of government projects. But what about the commercial market?
Ah, that's where things get even more interesting. They're really pushing into the commercial sector
Right.
with their artificial intelligence platform or AIP.
And they're actually seeing some success.
Absolutely, particularly in areas like supply chain management and healthcare.
Okay, give me an example.
Hmm.
How are companies using this AIP?
Take Aramark, for instance. They're using it to streamline their logistics and optimize their whole supply chain.
So it's helping them become more efficient.
Exactly. And in healthcare, Mount Sinai is using Palantir's tools to enhance patient care.
That's pretty amazing.
Hmm.
So they're not just focusing on government contracts.
They're finding a good footing in the commercial market, too.
Okay. And I know everyone's talking about generative AI these days. Is Palantir doing anything in that space?
They are. They've partnered with Amazon Web Services and Anthropic to expand their work in generative AI.
Interesting. Partnerships seem to be a key part of their strategy.
Very strategic. By collaborating with big players, they're strengthening their position in key markets.
So who else are they working with?
There's Booz Allen Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
That helps them with government and defense contracts.
Okay. Anyone else?
L3 Harris, they're focusing on AI-driven defense innovations.
Got it.
And Oracle. They're integrating Palantir's analytics capabilities with Oracle's cloud infrastructure.
Okay, so they're making some powerful connections. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about their financials. I understand their revenue growth has slowed down a bit in recent years.
That's true. It's decreased from a high of 47% in 2020 to 17% in 2023.
So their total revenue for 2023.
$2.23 billion.
Okay, so that slowdown, has it raised any concerns among investors?
It has. Some investors were definitely used to seeing Palantir on a much steeper upward trajectory.
I can understand why that would be a concern. But are there any positive takeaways from their financial picture?
While their revenue growth has slowed, their profitability has actually been improving,
And why is that?
likely due to those high-margin government contracts we talked about earlier.
Oh, okay. So that's a plus,
Plus, they have a very healthy cash reserve, $4.56 billion.
which gives them some breathing room.
Exactly. Plenty of room for future investments.
So it sounds like they're in a fairly stable financial position. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Now, I want to dive into their AI innovations.
That's good.
It seems like they're playing a leading role in the AI landscape, especially in high-stakes fields like defense, intelligence, and healthcare. Can you walk us through some of their key platforms and how they all connect?
Sure. So they've got their artificial intelligence platform, AIP, and that seamlessly integrates with their other platforms,
That's fine.
Gotham, Foundry, and Apollo. It's like a comprehensive suite of AI-powered tools designed to work together.
So for someone like me who's not a tech expert,
Sure.
what makes their AI piece so unique?
It's all about providing real-time decision-making capabilities.
Powered by AI.
Exactly. It allows for extensive data integration
Okay.
and boasts top-notch security features.
So it's designed for handling a lot of data.
Massive amounts.
Yeah.
And delivering actionable insights.
Wow, that's impressive. It sounds really futuristic.
Or
Are there any specific projects that really showcase their technology?
there are a couple that come to mind. The first is Constellation.
Okay, what's that?
It's a satellite-based AI network that can perform real-time geospatial analysis
So they can analyze satellite imagery instantly.
and extract valuable intelligence.
Wow, that's a whole other level.
Okay.
What's the other project?
Skykit, a portable AI toolbox
A toolbox. What for?
specifically designed for frontline intelligence operations.
So like a high-tech AI assistant.
You could say that helps with things like target identification, threat assessment, and overall situational awareness.
So they're not just building AI systems, they're building them for some of the most demanding situations.
Exactly.
All right, so with all of this in mind, let's talk about the bull case for investing in Palantir. What makes people optimistic about their future?
First off, they have a strong leadership position in the market.
Especially when it comes to,
AI-driven government applications. This gives them a steady and predictable revenue stream.
okay, so a solid foundation in government contracts.
Exactly. What's also encouraging is their expansion into the commercial sector.
We talked about that, like with Aramark and Mount Sinai.
It demonstrates that their AI solutions can be adapted and scaled across different industries.
So diversification is key.
Very key. And the third element is their strong institutional support.
Because of their inclusion in the S&P 500.
Exactly. That's attracted long-term investors.
So we've got strong market leadership, expanding commercial reach,
Yeah.
and solid institutional support. That's a lot of positives.
It is. But there are always two sides to every story.
Let's flip the coin and explore the bear case.
Yeah.
What are some of the concerns?
A major concern is their valuation. Those high PE and PS ratios are a red flag for some investors.
Especially for those who are focused on value investing.
Exactly. Another worry is the slowdown in revenue growth. Can they sustain their growth, or are they hitting a ceiling?
So consistent growth is a key factor.
For many investors, yes.
Yep.
And then there's their heavy reliance on government contracts,
Almost 60% of their revenue.
which makes them vulnerable to changes in government spending or political priorities.
Decision time. Buy, sell, or hold.
It's not a black and white situation.
Huh.
Palantir has incredible potential, but also real uncertainties.
So how should investors approach this?
It depends. If you're an investor who's comfortable with risk
Someone who's excited about the future of AI.
and believes that Palantir is going to be a leader in that future,
Then the current price might not be a deal breaker.
you're betting on the long-term potential.
But if you're more risk averse,
You might want to wait and see how things unfold.
see if that valuation comes down a bit.
Exactly. Watch how their commercial expansion progresses. See if they can maintain profitability.
No need to rush into a decision.
Sometimes patience is the best strategy. Do your research, weigh the factors we've discussed, and make the decision that's right for you.
That's great advice. So here we are at the end of our deep dive into Palantir Technologies.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Their history, their technology, their financials,
The arguments for and against investing,
their innovative AI platform.
and their ambitions for the future.
It's been a fascinating look at this complex company. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.